Hey guys, and welcome to another brand new video. Although this video might be a little bit more on the sadder side, I'm not really the biggest fan to get to go and talk about it, but it does actually kind of seem like from all the leaks and all the rumors and all the other information that the PlayStation VR 2 actually might be seeing some really big, substantial, basically, delays. And we actually have some internal stuff, we actually have some big, analysts, we also have a lot of numbers, we have a lot of shipments, and we have pretty much a lot of stuff. I don't want to say fully confirming it, although it does make it look extremely likely. And we actually, a lot of people were kind of speculating on there actually would be a release date this year, so I'll give you guys more other details on other various products and all that stuff too as well. We have a lot of stuff to go talk about, so we're going to talk about it. As well, make sure you guys are subscribed with the notifications on, as well for the brand new PlayStation 5 giveaway. Amazon links down below for the PS5 disc, digital console, and controller. Twitter and Twitch stream as well, link down below. Sign up for Weeble, deposit $100, get a bunch of free stock, free money, some of that Coinbase too as well. And like I said, we'll probably actually trying our best to beat Elden Ring tonight, so if you guys want to see that and my challenges and struggles, well, the Twitch down below. So, as you guys can probably go and tell by the initial intro over here, it does kind of seem like the Sony's PSVR 2 might be being delayed. So we're gonna, the big thing for this one is we have actually not gotten two major and probably the biggest things when it comes to announcements and stuff is one, we have not gotten the price. Now, I do keep on speculating myself. It'll be either $399 or $499, which might be a little bit more on the expensive side, but just think in terms of technology, things in terms of other VRs. I do have other comparison numbers at $299 or so, but this is also brand new instead of a third generation, etc., etc. So that's kind of my expectations. We'll see when it gets fully released. And part two is the release date, which is probably the obviously most important thing. So a few things to kind of note. It's not looking too good. So when it comes to Sony and Sony other stuff, the PlayStation 5s have actually been having a little bit of an issue in terms of production, in terms of movement, in terms of development, and in all of that kind of just spreading all out throughout the world. We've had multiple different reports of big businesses, even say Target, having reported internal delays where they were expected to have stock and they never got it. And even as of recently too, we've even had Walmart that have had a similar issue where they actually had to delay out some of the PlayStation 5 orders that people have had for 3 months. Now, of course, these places, and I'm sure Sony themselves are trying to go and basically make sure this works for the PlayStation 5. The sad part two of this is everything is still messed up. Supply chains, productions, all the actual resources you need. Think plastics, think electronics, think semiconductors. Even now still, and even just the movements in shipping of items are just being delayed non-stop. And that's probably one of the biggest issues over here, because I think that's going to all be trickling down into the PlayStation VR 2. So we've actually been having a lot more in analytics and other folks kind of coming on out, so let's go talk about this. But this is kind of the topic of the day, and it's kind of somewhat sadder topics too. The PlayStation VR 2 is now reportedly delayed until 2023. But don't despair. So I just want to first and foremost throw this out here. This is not 100% confirmed, but with all the things I just mentioned, on top of the potential release, and as well with all the other things we're about to go talk about in a second, it does seem extremely likely, which is not fun to see because I personally want to buy one. And if you guys want to, quick side note before we get in the gusto, are you guys going to be buying a PlayStation VR 2? Would you guys want more PlayStation VR 2 updates? And as well, if we ever had to have to deal with supply issues and restocks, would you guys want them on the channel itself? Leave your comments and thoughts down below over there. But as of now, a lot of analysts are assuming the PlayStation VR 2 release date may have fully slipped into the next year. So Sony's PlayStation VR 2 may have slipped into 2023. While the next-gen virtual reality headset design for the PlayStation 5 has never been given an official release date, previous reports were indicating that a 2022 release date is likely. However, a reputable industry analyst is now suggesting the device won't be ready until next year. According to Ross Young, CEO of Display Supply Chain Consultants, VR display shipments are expected to rise 50% in 2022, up to more than 15 million units across the year. While on the surface, that might seem a positive update in regards to the release date in the PSVR 2, Young's notes in the same post that the rises despite delays to 2023 at Apple and Sony. So let's go kind of break that down a little bit more. Part one is when it comes to the supply chain issues, as I mentioned. Right now, you don't want to be a company, think Nintendo with the upcoming Switch Pro whenever that happens, or even right now, the PlayStation VR. You do not want to be having the same issues we've had right now. You don't want your consumers complaining. You don't want these big businesses like the Amazon, Target, Walmart, etc. complaining, which I can guarantee you they have. Walmart especially, that has given out probably millions of dollars in free upgrades and consoles, is millions of dollars they themselves have lost, and a lot of them do contribute this towards Sony not producing and not supplying stock quick enough. So that's a major thing. Like, if you're a big company, you do not want to be upsetting Walmart or Amazon or Target, because that is when you kind of have those really kind of not so good things. You want to have things in stores, you want to make products, you want everyone making money, not someone having to lose money. So that's big part number one. Part two is the fact of you also don't want to have basically no supply. You need to make sure production is good. And I'm okay with that. Like, I'm personally okay if things wait out an extra 3 months or 6 months so we can pretty much guarantee that things are on the shelves when they come out. And that kind of goes the same thing for the Switch, where I want them to have like 10 million Switches on hand and then still churning them out, and they just keep on doing like a million a week, a million a week, a million a week until it's fully basically, sought after. So that's a big thing to note, is that I do think these delays are going to be good. Like, we know there's supply chain issues, we know there's semiconductor issues, we know everything else is out there. I would prefer this. I like this. It'd make it easier for all of us to go and buy it and have to stay up until 4 in the morning waiting for Target. And as well, when you have some people like this that are very big into these consultant side, when they this is almost like I'm kind of a big leak, just if they do know any internal information on it, but they did go and say the big jump is more so forecast in 2023. Now, with that, it doesn't 100% guarantee that it will be not in 2022. We could also maybe even see them kind of ramp it, maybe like an October, November, or even December release, because as you guys know, everyone likes having these holiday rushes. They get a lot of extra money, a lot of extra products. So you could always maybe have like maybe even pre-orders around, say, November, September, kind of how they did with the PlayStation 5, and then maybe just have the release date maybe even a few months later. So think maybe just a more prolonged like pre-order date. So basically you would have 6 months instead of like say 3 months, and just lets people kind of like judge up stock, judge up numbers, and kind of go from there. But that's kind of sad news to see, because at least we know the numbers are going to be going huge. Like, they know they want to have like more than 15 million displays, which is good. Like, right now the PlayStation 5 is at like 18 million sales, something like that. So if you're able to go push 15 million between Apple and Sony, you're probably doing pretty good. You're probably getting at least, let's just say at least 5 million at the lowest half. Apple's a pretty big company, even in comparison to Sony. That's pretty good. Like, I'm pretty sure not like maybe 1/3 folks are going to get it, because it's a lot of extra money. It's VR is kind of niche. There's not that much games. And also a lot of people already have like their Vives or other types of like Oculus Rifts or whatever. So I think it's actually good numbers. I think they should wait. I really think they should. And all these in terms of leaks and information, everything else, does seem like the delay seems more likely for 2023. And maybe we even might even see like a spring release. Like, maybe think like a 2020, like around April or March. And I think at the end of the day, that'd be a pretty good release date. But it does seem kind of sketchy, because we just haven't had the official confirmation date or price point. And I do think they're maybe just waiting for a lot of the supply chain stuff and just the world situations to kind of calm down just a little bit more. It does seem like it's getting a little bit better every other like day, like every like few weeks. I'm like, okay, I'm seeing GPUs in stock, or every like, okay, now we're seeing Xboxes not being slogged around, which is kind of good too as well. So I would probably say it would make a lot of sense for a delay. And now in terms of like big analysts that actually have proper information, like if you have the initial numbers with the VR display shipments to go and see these internals, you could probably go and assume what's going on. So that's kind of a big thing. I do think it seems like it's kind of bad news at the end of the day, because no one wants a big delay. Everyone wants the products out. Even same thing for the PS5. If the PS5 delayed for like 6 months, that'd be a big deal. But right now, and I kind of want to hear your thoughts down below too, I think it's smart. I really think it's smart to delay. I really think it's smart to build up stock longer, and I think it's better to get to the point where you can build up enough supplies that you can keep on churning out stock pretty consistently, because you don't want to have another PlayStation situation where it's out of stock and then you're sitting there for 4 months and then people get upset and sad. You want to be more on the Xbox, where it's still kind of selling out pretty quick, but the stores are replenishing stock pretty quick themselves. So I kind of want to hear your thoughts down below, because this does kind of seem both good and bad. I'm not fully sure it can kind of go either way. But basically, a lot of folks as well have also let a lot of people are actually like kind of leaking out stuff too when it comes to information, and kind of how even the article states PSVR 2 being moved to 2023 could ultimately be a positive move, which would also once again do as well allow more sales to the PlayStation 5, which I'd agree on too as well, which would also have a higher like turnover chance for PSVR 2, and as well with all the delays would also let like the chip issues kind of go and chill as we mentioned, supply issues go and chill as we mentioned, and as well just build up stock. So I think it's a good call. We don't have a confirmed date, we don't have a confirmed price, we don't have a confirmed anything as of now besides we know it exists and we know the specs for it. So I'm okay waiting as long as it turns out better. So kind of give me your thoughts and comments down below, and as well, let's kind of see what happens these next few weeks and see if there's any other additional informations and releases. So make sure you guys are subscribed with the notifications on as well for the brand new PlayStation 5 giveaway. Amazon links down below for the PS5 digital console controller. Twitter and Twitch stream as well, link down below. And sign up for Weeble, sign up for Coinbase, and make sure you guys hang out on Twitch if you guys want to throughout today. And I appreciate you guys all so much for watching.